Hey everyone, welcome back. We are still live here at Bridging Innovation up here in Wheeling, West Virginia. I'm here with my next guest from Mountaineer Media, one of the two great guys over at Mountaineer Media. I'm joined right now with Cooper Simmerman.
Thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
Yeah, Cooper, for those who don't know about you and your podcast, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you're working on?
Absolutely. So Mountaineer Media essentially was an idea 2.5 years ago with my co-founder CJ Harvey, where we wanted to just tell a West Virginia story. We wanted to showcase West Virginia. We wanted to stay connected as friends. And basically what we came up with was a podcast. We're like, you know what? What bonds us together was West Virginia. I had moved away to DC at the time. So we felt like in this peak pandemic, we felt like people were isolated, away from each other. We wanted to bring people together through conversation. So, and to talk about West Virginia specifically and about the good things that we saw going on in the state. So it's essentially started as that. We shot a DM to Emily Calandrelli, who's a rock star science communicator at a WVU. She was like, yeah, I'll do your podcast. I don't know if she knew she was our first guest, but that kind of launched us on a series. And then we had, Joe Manchin, we had some big names early on, and that gave us momentum that people are motivated, they're eager, and they're willing to talk about West Virginia. From there, we've grown the podcast now. We do social media content, we do small business partnerships, we do some other media relations work. We're excited to be here at Bridging Innovation. But the whole goal of it is to try to tell, I don't call it a new West Virginia story, because I think this story has always been about, or been true and existing in the state, but we're trying to amplify and showcase the wonderful people here in the state.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's what a lot of West Virginians want to see, is those good stories and the fact that our state is somewhere where you can live, thrive in, and have a good life. Mm-hmm. What are some things that you've discovered through conversations you've had with people about West Virginia that maybe you didn't know, or what's your favorite part that you've learned about, working with people in West Virginia?
I think, it's always humbling and inspiring to hear that. I think sometimes we put even business leaders and entrepreneurs on a pedestal. If your name is not known, or if it's attached to a big business, then it's not worthy, or if it's not successful. But I think the biggest thing and what we get most fulfillment out of is your next door neighbor, your best friend, the person down the street is doing world-class innovative stuff in West Virginia. And it might not have the headlines, it might not be on the commercials or on TV, but there's so much tremendous community grassroots works of people, entrepreneurs, organizations that are doing stuff. No matter where you go in the country, right there, shoulder to shoulder with people that are doing high-level projects, they're doing it right here in West Virginia. So for us, discovering those and highlighting them has been probably the best joy.
Great, great. And I know you said you started off just as a podcast, and you've kind of expanded out. I know you have an event coming up in a couple months.
We do.
Yeah, talk a little bit about that, and what's that going to be?
Yes, we're super excited to host the Almost Heaven Classic, which is essentially an in-person manifestation of the digital world which we've kind of created. So on June 9th and 10th, we're going to gather probably about 150 to 175 West Virginians in the room on Friday, June 9th, with Brad Smith, Sarah Biller, and Brandon Dennison for a live keynote panel discussion. The theme being building conversations, building relationships, investing in West Virginia, in Canaan Valley, beautiful Tucker County mountains. And then on the next Saturday, right after that, on June 10th, is going to be an awesome golf tournament. Right. So 30 teams have already signed up. We're sold out for the golf tournament. They're going to be competing for the West Virginia jacket, but it's flooded with West Virginia small business partnerships, all sorts of fun giveaways and prizes. So all of that's going to take place this year in Canaan Valley. We hope to replicate that over and over again every year and move it around the state and really showcase West Virginia's beauty.
Yeah, well, that's great. I'm looking forward to seeing all about it. Since we're almost out of time, where can people find your podcast and give it a listen?
Thanks, man. Yeah, so we're Mountaineer Media on most platforms. So just Mountaineer Media. You can type in Mountaineer Media Podcast, probably specifically on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, and that'll pull us up. But yeah, LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all of those. We try to meet people where they are and showcase the state and our values and our storytelling on those platforms. And we're excited to get connected with people, and I appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, of course. Well, that's all the time we have. Thank you, Cooper. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll be